That's pretty cool. I'll clean up for you. It's the least I can do. So we'll get to see if Lee's actually a good electrician or not. Are you allowed to do DIY electrics? I hope the customer is not going to give us a really bad review after this. Oh, it looks like something from like Yugoslavia in the 1960s.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
All good. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Artisan Electrics. We're here today at Lee's house. We're installing some extra security measures which are going to make his life a little bit more relaxed, because as tradesmen you probably know there's a lot of van crime that's going on lately. Sometimes we can just have this fear in the back of our minds that somebody's going to break into our van and steal all our tools. Now, since Lee's come on board with us, we've also loaded his van full of lovely Hilti gear and all sorts of other amazing tools, and we want to protect that and we want to protect his peace of mind. So we're installing today some Ring security products, in particular the Ring Video Doorbell Pro 2. We're going to be putting it here at his front door. It's going to hopefully cover his driveway and enable him to keep an eye on his van when he's not at home or whatever, and it gives him the peace of mind knowing that he's got security. Have you been broken into before?
Not this van, but previous vans, yeah, I've been broken a couple of times, so it's good peace of mind to just get a notification through on the phone and see if anyone's sort of fiddling about with it. So
we're going to just talk you through the whole process of installing this Ring Video Doorbell Pro, show you how we do it, and show you some of the features in the app that will enable a little bit more peace of mind for Lee and for me, knowing that all the tools aren't going to be ripped out of the back of his van and he's not going to be able to work the next day. So hopefully this video will be entertaining and educational for you. If it is, don't forget to hit a thumbs up. It really helps our channel to grow. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let's get into it. So let's have a little look at what's in the box. Why is this a Ring Video Doorbell Pro 2? What's that all about? Well, it has some extra little things in there which make it a pro system. And one of the things which I love is this transformer. So obviously this is a hardwired video doorbell. You can get some that are just battery powered, and that's, you know, the DIY installer sort of jobby, but these are the pro because they need a pro to install them really. And one of the things that comes with it is this transformer which gives you exactly what you need. It's a 24 volt 0.42 amp transformer which enables you to give a constant voltage power supply to the video doorbell. And that is important because a lot of video doorbells don't come with this, and you end up having to scratch around on the internet trying to find one that's compatible. So I love the fact that they've just given us a transformer straight out of the box. What else is in here? So we've got the actual Ring Video Doorbell Pro 2 itself, which looks really nice. It's got some weight to it. It's got some nice screw connections at the back there. Then they've given us a nice little Ring security screwdriver, which is important to be able to take the cover off the video doorbell. We've got these stickers as well, so we can plaster Lee's house with stickers to make sure everyone knows that they're being watched. We've got the little flying leads here which are to actually go onto the back. These are like what we call spade, I think they're called spade crimps. So they just slide in under the screw terminals there and enable you to get a really good solid connection with the wires. They've given us these wire nuts. You can tell this is maybe an American product because we don't use wire nuts very much in the UK, but I'm going to be interested to have a little go at using these if we need to. And then in here, we've got some fixing screws, bits and pieces, but here is a little important thing that we might need to use today is the wedge. Because this is going on the side of the door, we might want to angle it slightly so that it faces more toward the van and it's watching what Lee wants it to watch. Because if it's angled straight forward, a lot of the view from the camera is just going to be the wall, which is not really important to film. We want as much of a view centered on the thing that you want to protect as possible. So that's why the wedge is really handy to have too. This second box is the Chime Pro. So this is what it says, it's Chime. So when somebody presses the doorbell, guess what? It goes ding dong or whatever you want it to do. I don't know what the options are, we will see. What I love about this as well is the fact that they provide you with a chime that you can just plug in, because again, a lot of these video doorbells you need to find like a special chime that works with 24 volts and it's just a little bit complicated to set up. Whereas this one, all you do is you choose your plug, which in this case is, you know, the standard British plug. You click that in there and then you plug it in, and it pairs wirelessly to the Ring Video Doorbell Pro 2, and that's it. It just works. Yeah, super impressed with what I've seen so far, but the question is, how easy will it be to install here at Lee's house? Because it's not going to be the most straightforward installation, let's just say that. So let's talk you through how we're going to install it. So after having consulted with the customer, Mr. Lee, he's agreed that we're going to put the doorbell about here somewhere, and probably we'll put it on the wedge because that's going to give us a good angle facing the van, like I said. So the wedge goes there. We've got plenty of space in the back to run the wires in. We basically need to drill at an angle, probably. So the Artisan Angle Drilling Company is going to be playing their role today into the cavity. So this is a cavity wall. Hopefully if we drill up at a steep enough angle, we can get into the cavity. Then we can rod up into the roof space. So above me is like a little porch roof with a plasterboard ceiling, and Lee has told me that in the past he's actually taken tiles off and just been able to fish cables through like that. So we're going to do a bit of roofing today as well. Artisan Roofing Company. Fish the cables across to the consumer unit, which is here. So it's quite handy because the consumer unit's not very far, but he only has like 2 spare ways basically, and I reckon eventually, if Lee, plays his cards right, he might end up getting an electric van for the, company van, in which case we might need to install an electric car charger. So we want to keep his spare ways available. So we're going to just spare off one of the lighting circuits and then put the actual transformer in a little separate enclosure just next to the consumer unit. That avoids any issues with type testing and stuff like that as well, because people say that you shouldn't really put an item within a consumer unit that is not of the same brand as a consumer unit. It should be type tested to fit. So we'll put a little two module DIN rail enclosure there with the transformer in, and then we'll literally drill up into this ceiling void and fish the cable through, hopefully with some super rod magic. So that's the theory, but as you know, sometimes it doesn't always go to plan. So we're going to get stuck in and see what happens. So as this is Lee's house, I'm not going to take the risk of trying to rip some of his roof tiles off. So you all right to do that part?
Yeah, I'll take the responsibility.
You get up there, start taking some roof tiles off, and what I will do is just start mounting this, drill through and kind of get everything prepped, and then hopefully once the roof tile's off, you can drop a rod down in the void and we'll see if we can fish it. Yeah,
so I actually wired these porch lights in myself, so I dropped down the cavity before, so I know there's obviously room to do that, so I think we should be fine.
Are you allowed to do DIY electrics?
I watched some YouTube videos.
Yeah, okay, it sounds like you know what's going on inside your walls, so let's do that. So we'll get to see if Lee's actually a good electrician or not. The test is, did he do a neat job of his own consumer unit, or did he just chuck it in? Oh, it looks like something from like Yugoslavia in the 1960s. No, you know what? The actual connections are really nice and neat, and you have labelled up your gas and water bond. It looks like you had to majorly extend a lot of the cables in there, so it's probably a bit of a nightmare board change, I can imagine. And you did use grommet strip as well, so yeah, not bad, not bad. I think he can keep his job.
So I've previously actually wired the porch lights through here, so I know if I take a couple of these up I can get through to the fuse board, and if I can get the cable across I can actually run down into the cavity, so that should be sort of a nice access for the bell wire. Okay, so I found the access hole that goes down to the cavity from when I wired the lights, and then on the other side there's another hole that goes through to the top of the fuse board, so we should be on for a good route there. It'll get across to there fine, and then we've just got to get a route down to the DIN rail enclosure.
Cool, okay, let's
drill. Try and put my roof tiles back together.
So if we drill the hole here, then yeah, we'll multi-tool this out and we'll be good to go. So the idea now is Lee's going to drop this down inside the cavity of the wall. I'm going to poke this in the hole there, and then we should, with the magnet, catch that be able to pull it through the hole and use that to fish the cable up inside the wall. Oh wait, I can see the beads. It's just they're getting stuck in the hole. The hole's slightly too small. Yes. We can tie the bell wire onto that, and then Lee can pull it back up, and we're good to go. That is a relief, because that's the hard part done now. That's the part that you never quite know if it's going to work or not. The rest of it hopefully should be fairly straightforward. So that's the wedge installed, all secure and level with the screws that they've provided. What we're going to do now is connect the wire onto the back of the video doorbell. But what we want to do first is just seal this hole up to stop any moisture or insects going in. So we'll get a bit of silicone and seal that up. So the next step is to use these little prong fork connector things to go onto the back of the doorbell, and then use these wire nuts to connect these wires to those wires, and then we can mount the doorbell up. Very simple. So I'm just going to get a little flat screwdriver, tuck that in there and just unclip the front cover. There we go. Okay, that's it. Yeah, there is a little notch in it. So that's the front now, and you've got like a pairing button and a QR code to scan. So we will get the two little screws here, top and bottom, fix that back into the back plate, and then we'll pair it up and stuff once the other end is done and it's all powered up. These two little screws come with it to fix it back. So this is the transformer, and this is the enclosure that we're going to put it in. It's just a little 2-module DIN rail enclosure made of metal. And what Lee has done is he's nicely multi-tooled out a bit of the coving there. So this enclosure will fit nice and neat up there. The transformer will go inside, and we'll just put a compression gland in there, drill up into the ceiling and take the cable straight in the top. All good. You're like not using a dust sheet. Yeah, I hope the customer is not going to give us a really bad review after this.
Well, you never know. It depends how the clean team does.
Yeah. Oh, you've got a Hoover in your van, haven't you? I'll clean up for you. It's the least I can do. It's like right, there is a joist there, and then it's right against the brick. Basically, you've got to go in between the joist and the brick. You got the ball and chain. Yeah, that's it. Let me see if I can grab it. That's it. Yeah. I got it. I got the cable. We've got this DIN mounting enclosure on the wall now, and this transformer will literally just click into it. That's what we call a DIN rail. The DIN rail is designed to have these DIN mountable units clicked into them. So it will just click in, but what I'm going to do is wire these into it first. So the 24-volt connection is in the top. You can see the plus and minus. And then on the bottom is the mains power, 230 volts or 240 volts, whatever, going in the bottom. There is no earth connection because it's a class 2 device. But there is an earth terminal in the back of this metal enclosure, so we will earth the metal enclosure from the consumer unit just to make sure that that's all earthed as it is an extraneous conductive part. Connect this in this side and then we'll be able to liven it up. doing is putting these little bootlace ferrules on the end of the data cable for the low voltage connection to the bell. Just because it's fine stranded cable, it's good to put these little bootlace ferrules on, and then it just protects the wires when they connect into the terminals to stop them from being shredded. So I've terminated the mains power now in this side, and now all I'm going to do is terminate the low voltage cable into this side and then connect it into the consumer unit. So we've got everything connected up in here, and if I can get the lid, have we got the lid, Lee? We'll just pop that on. So that just, it's really nice and neat, this little metal enclosure. Just slides over and the transformer just sticks out the front like that. It's all secure, it's completely sealed up as well, so it's kind of fireproof. Not that it really needs to be, but it's good that, like with transformers, they get hot sometimes, you know, just in natural operation. So it's kind of good to have it separate from the consumer unit in the way that if it does kick out any heat, it's not going to cause any problems with thermal effects in the board. So I've got the cable stripped back here. Just going to put a bit of earth sleeving on this and then terminate it into this lighting circuit, which is actually for the porch lights as well. So it kind of works out well. Right, so that's connected in now at the board. And just a little note here, because I know there might be some DIY people watching this. This is not a DIY install that we're doing because we're installing into the consumer unit. You shouldn't mess around with things inside your consumer unit unless you're a competent electrically trained person. And in this case, we're adding to the installation. It's not like it's just plugged in or something. It's an addition to the installation, so we should provide a minor work certificate for it. So, you know, just a little heads up. And that's why it's called a Ring Video Doorbell Pro, because it kind of needs a pro to install it when you're adding to a hardwired electrical installation. So we're going to go to the App Store, search Ring Doorbell, download the Ring Always Home app. I'm downloading it now. Now I'm going to open it. Would you like to send notifications? So yeah, I want it. Like, do you want notifications?
Yeah.
Yes, so create an account. I'm going to hand this to Lee and then he's going to do this part.
Yeah. Please enter the code we texted. Oh, that's going to be to my one. Cool, so set up a device, doorbell. Okay, so if you could scan the QR code on the side.
Wait for it to enter setup mode. I think if we press the button.
Ring doorbell is in setup mode.
There we go. It is in setup mode. Can't see any light on there at the moment. Remove the face plate, then press and release the button on the side. That's what we did. Yeah.
Done, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
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 Is that one?
Yeah. Join. Yeah.
Oh, is that your one?
It creates its own Wi-Fi network, and then you're joining to it via Wi-Fi.
Ring doorbell is connected to the Ring app.
So now you want to
I'm gonna
connect
have
it
to
to your
go
Wi-Fi.
back and get that card. 2 seconds.
Scanning for Wi-Fi networks.
Oh yeah, there we go. It's that one at the top. Yeah.
Ring doorbell is connecting to the internet.
I love it.
Just a moment. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Your Ring doorbell is ready to go. With Ring, you're always home.
You're always home. Even if you're out on your motorbike, you're always home. It says, fill in the blanks with snapshot capture. This feature lets Ring doorbells and cams capture a continuous series of images throughout the day. That's pretty cool. This is available to you by default, so you can leave that on for the moment if you want. Success! Your Ring doorbell is now set up and ready to protect you. Follow along to get familiar with its features and customize it for your home, so let's do that. Invite shared users, so if you wanted to share it with your mum or dad or girlfriend or whoever, then you can do that. You can do that later on your own phone, can't you? With just a few quick questions, we'll optimize motion detection for your home. Okay, let's see what that's all about. This control sets the amount of motion necessary to trigger a motion event. At the highest setting, all movements will be detected. If you find that you get motion notifications too often or too seldom, you can adjust this setting anytime in device settings. So basically it's like a
Guess
bit like a
only
PIR, like more sensitive or less
Motion went
sensitive.
about halfway up the path, maybe.
Yeah, so probably
Otherwise-
less motion is
Yeah.
probably good, because you don't want it every
gonna
time somebody
cut-
drives past, do
no.
you? But you want it when someone comes up to the front door.
Yeah.
Would you like to customize your motion zones? This allows you to exclude areas you don't want to monitor, and when motion is detected, you'll know exactly where. Yeah, so that's really cool to do that.
So probably wouldn't want to motion them walking up
You
to
just
their
want to
door.
like do a square basically on your
Yep.
driveway and your path, don't you really? It's updating the firmware now, so that'll take a couple of minutes. While we're waiting for that, let's put the cover on. So these are the little security screws, and you just need one that goes in the bottom just to hold the thing on and stop anyone from taking it off. So that just goes in like that, and that's what this little screwdriver they provide is for. So this is giving us the option now for the zones. So if we click on the default zone, we can click edit zone, and we can literally drag that so that it only picks up anything that's in your driveway kind of thing.
People going next door.
Yeah, you kind of want the van to be covered, but at the same time remembering when it's not there.
Yeah, people drive past.
Yeah, so that'll probably be about right, won't it? You can try that and then see how it goes. Okay, so that's the default zone. We can click done on that. And then you can always add other zones as well. So if you want to like have a general zone as well, or like a really small zone, you can do. There's lots of options. So we'll click continue. It's going to save the settings. Right, so that's it now. It says 3D motion detection makes alert better. It says if you don't want notifications when cars drive by or people pass on the sidewalk, you can set up 3D motion detection to monitor for motion that matters and ignore the rest. To switch between satellite and vector views, tap here. Wow, this is, I can see why it's called a Ring Video Doorbell Pro, because it's really in depth, all this.
Oh, wow, you actually
It's
set it
like,
for satellite.
yeah, so it's asking you now from the satellite view, where is the video doorbell? I think that's next door, isn't it? So it is pretty much bang on where it showed. It's like there. Yeah. Continue. Move the slider to match the blue zone to the camera's field of view. Oh my goodness, wow, that's amazing. Oh yeah, okay, I see. So it's basically so that you can line it up. That's pretty much about right, isn't it? I think. How far should motion detection reach? What's that like?
3 meters?
Bit more maybe. 4.5 is
Yeah.
probably about right, isn't it? So anything beyond that will be ignored, it
Yeah,
says.
so it shouldn't pick up cars.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it? It's like,
The way that you set it by satellite,
I know,
I didn't
yeah.
think it would be that involved.
yeah. What are we going to do for lunch? I've brought a packed lunch.
I did buy a big pizza to put in the oven if anyone likes pepperoni pizza. It's about,
Max-
it's about this
Max
big.
won't say no. Yeah. Oh, settings safe. So that's it. We can refine your settings at any time, so you can mess around with it as you kind of get used to it and learn what works best. So we click I'm done. Now the thing that we've not done yet still is paired up the chime, so we need to look at how to do that now. But we'll see. Oh, there is motion at your front door. Tap and hold this notification to see more.
Hello?
Hello?
That's really, there's like no lag at all though on that. That's really, really fast, isn't it? Okay, so let's see if I can do it. I'll go inside and I'll see if I can talk to you from inside.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, is that Artisan Electrics?
Yeah, what do you want?
Have you done with my thermostat yet? How's it look?
It's really clear, really nice clear picture. That's really good. Like, if you just, like, pretend you're breaking into your van.
Just get the angle grinder out. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. I think that's absolutely brilliant. You can see really well. So, yeah, perfect. So next is the Chime, and this is set up on the app as like a separate device. So we go into devices, we'll click set up a device, click OK, and then we choose Chimes, and then we scan the QR code. Find a central spot for your new Chime Pro. So it needs to be an electrical socket that's roughly the same distance from your router and your Ring devices that need better Wi-Fi. Make sure Wi-Fi is strong at this location. If it isn't, choose an electrical socket that's a bit closer to your router. Wow, okay. It lights up and everything, that's insane. So we're gonna choose downstairs, plug your Chime Pro into a socket, Chime Pro is on. The light is flashing green, yes it is. So now it's giving us an option to create kind of like a Chime Pro network, so that if this one has weak signal to the Wi-Fi router, it will actually connect to another Chime device, another Ring device, and then it will use that. It's like a mesh network type thing, very clever. But I think we'll skip that for now because this has good signal anyway. And that's it, Chime Pro network settings saved. We can do a connection quality test. Let's skip that for now. Select tones, okay, this is the fun part. What tone do you want? So we've got the default, we've got bats. That's the default. Ghosts. Oh, that's horrible. Whew.
Why would you even want these for your doorbell?
Do you want to go traditional or Westminster?
I don't know, just stick on the default for now.
Yep, just go
I'll
default.
change it to ghosts later.
Default motion. What sound play when motion is detected? So that's going to happen when motion is detected if you have that setting turned on, which you don't at the moment. That's chime tone saved, and that is it. I am done. I am done as well. I'm ready for lunch. So that is it. Ring Video Doorbell Pro installed, working. Do you feel safer now?
It's loads safer.
Yeah?
Yep.
Isn't it going to be cool to be able to go out cruising on your motorbike and go, I wonder if anyone's broken into my van yet. Let's check.
I hope not.
It's much smarter, much better protected, and that's what the Ring Video Doorbell Pro is all about. And it was pretty easy to install, wasn't it?
Yeah, once we got the cable routed down the void in the brickwork, it was nice and easy.
So, all in all, seems like a great product. If you'd like to know more, head to the link in the description where you can find more information or a link to buy. And thanks for Ring for sponsoring today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.